the Duke Blue Devils. He struggled in the 2 ACC road games, and they don't think it's a long-term thing. It's a week-to-week thing. They just want him to get better.
Boston College is here after a 7-point win on Tuesday against Notre Dame. Duke lost 84-60 in Raleigh on Wednesday night to NC State. So Tyrese Proctor is the new man on the floor for John Shire's Blue Devils. Ryan Young also draws the start today. And there's a backdoor cut and a layup for Derek Whitehead to get the Blue Devils going early.
Boy, one of the things that Ryan Young could really do, Wes, is pass the basketball. You want to be aggressive out on the perimeter, but boy, you got to stop that back door.
Jaden Zachary. And you get a look at DeMar Langford Jr. off the right side. And Young, the rebound for the Blue Devils. Duke's lost 2 of their last 3. Boston College has won 3 of their last 4. Here is Mitchell, the freshman, on the drive, the reverse, and the lay-in for Mark Mitchell.
Well, that's a really nice play by Mitchell, but Mekhi Ashton Langford is 6'3", 180 pounds, and Mitchell is 6'8", 220. So if they can create that kind of an isolation, it's going to be a long night for Mekhi Ashton Langford.
Zachary. Aligbe at the top, fires over the top of Filipowski. And Young, another Blue Devil rebound.
Get a long rebound like that, you can get out and push. Nice job by BC getting back.
Filipowski had a double-double the first time these two teams met, and he turns it over there. One of his 6 on this season that Dan spoke of a moment ago. Here's Mekhi Ashton Langford on the drive, and BC on the board.
And Boston College does not shoot the ball very well, Wes, so it's important that they get easy shots. And if Duke's going to turn the ball over, that's going to help the Eagles get easy shots.
Here is Young, and bothered inside by Bickerstaff. Turned over by the Blue Devils. Ashton Langford was sidetracked with a hamstring injury. Only played 9 minutes 5 weeks ago when they played in Durham. Here's DeMar Langford. Zachary a catch-and-shoot 3. And the rebound to Bickerstaff. And Aligbe right back, but Filipowski blocked it. BC recovers, and Eagles get a third chance here at the offensive end.
Boston College had 14 offensive rebounds the last time these two teams played.
Another block by Filipowski, and then Whitehead turned it over, trying for the quick outlet to Mitchell. Baseline, the drive. Langford had it fall off the front rim.
Wow. There's a lot of stuff going on out here, Wes.
The game is scattered here in the first 2.5. Here is Proctor. Inside catch, score in the bucket for Ryan Young, who's now made 14 straight field goals. And the foul is going to be on T.J. Bickerstaff, his first, and the first on the Eagles.
Duke has done a nice job for the most part this year defensively, and of course blocked shots really help. That's a good one by Filipowski, and then driving the ball in there. That's a hard thing to do against the Duke Blue Devils.
Free throw by Young.
When you drive the ball into the lane, Wes, and you have to do it if you're Boston College, you've got to make good decisions once you get in there. You can't force the shots.
Bickerstaff, Ashton Langford a triple from the front. And the rebound for Mitchell, the freshman from Kansas City. And you see how prolific Ryan Young has been for the Blue Devils. He's got it again, working down, skip out top. Proctor a 3 standing. And Mitchell tried to keep it alive. Bickerstaff, terrific rebounder, fires the BC transition chance. DeMar Langford thought about it. He will drive the ball. And the rebound for Filipowski.
Boy, another tough shot, Wes.
Yep. Proctor on the drive against Zachary. Jaden Zachary affected that. BC goes the other way. And there goes Mekhi Ashton Langford all the way to the cup. Couldn't finish. And the younger of the Langfords, DeMar, finishes on the follow.
Wes, Duke, they've turned the ball over a couple times, and they've made some bad decisions in terms of shot selection, and that has helped Boston College.
Here's Filipowski, Aligbe defending. Out of a double team, almost had it knocked away, saves it. Whitehead will fire and hit. 5 for Derek Whitehead. The freshman from Newark, New Jersey, who's had 2 straight double-figure games and hit 6 of his last 13, dials one in there.
Boy, Wes, you can just see him coming on.
Yep.
Very, very highly touted prospect. You mentioned he struggled with some injuries, but he looks like he's rounding into form now.
Yep. Blue Devils by a half dozen here early. Played 4.5 minutes. Ashton Langford on the drive. Nice pass. Zachary for the easy layup. 4 for Makai Ashton Langford.
Boston College is the best 2-point percentage shooting team in the Atlantic Coast Conference. They've got to get more of those.
Whitehead, quick delivery for Filipowski. BC doubling on every pass to the block. Foul on the Eagles. That'll get us free throws when we continue. But Duke's off to a good start. Filipowski, Derek Whitehead knocks down a triple. We have to make good decisions in the paint. And that I think mostly is an offensive discussion, but it certainly applies defensively too.
Yeah, it sure does. And while you're talking about the BC offense, Wes, they are the second worst three-point shooting team in the country. Only Alcorn State is behind them.
Right.
And yet, of their 9 field goal attempts, 3 of them have been from outside the arc. They're actually 3 for 6 inside.
Filipowski knocks down both free throws. And here is Jacob Grandison in the ball game for John Shire. And there is the 35-year-old native of Northbrook, Illinois, in his first season, of course, in Durham.
So the character of Duke's team changes right at the moment, Wes. This is the kind of versatility they have. Grandison comes in the game.
And there's Post. How about Quentin Post, first 3 of the year? Right on time.
Post has the reputation, Wes, that he can shoot it from out there. It's his first 3 of the year, but it's only his second attempt. That'll help. C.J. Pena's come on the floor as well during that timeout for Boston College. 3-point game. Jalen Blake's out there for the Blue Devils with Grandison. Here's Young going to work. Nice pass. Catch by Mitchell. Left-hand move and a score for the freshman Mark Mitchell. He's got 4. That was some catch by Mitchell. I don't think he expected the pass, but I'm telling you, if you're around the basket and Young has the ball, you better expect a pass. Yeah. Lively and Kelly waiting at the table for their respective schools as we played almost 6 minutes of this first half. There's DeMar Langford backing down Jalen Blake's. Skips into the corner. Makai Ashton Langford rings the bell on a 3. Wesson, what happened before he got that 3? They got the ball into the lane. They caused the defense to collapse. Ashton Langford is not a great 3-point shooter, only 25% on the year. Off the screen of Young, here's Tyrese Proctor. His 2 rims out, but Grandison runs cleanly underneath for the second chance. Proctor will drive it now, tried to bounce it to Young. Saved on the floor by Pena, and then Young touched it. Now Mitchell had it, and Zachary reaches in to commit a foul. It's been a little frenetic at times here in the early stages. It has been, and interesting enough, Boston College has gotten close on the strength of their 3-point shooting. We said they were one of the worst in the country, but Post can shoot it. He gets a wide open look. You see, all the Blue Devils are in the lane. Everybody's in the lane. Makai Ashton Langford isn't even in your picture. There he is, has all day to shoot that ball. I think if you're Duke, you're okay with that. You'd like to get out there and pressure a little bit more. Here's Grandison a 3. Lively's coming to the ball game to spell Young for the Blue Devils. First look at Derek Lively. And C.J. Pena can't handle the lead pass from Ashton Langford. So there is the freshman Lively. 7-1 from Philadelphia, the centerpiece of the Duke recruiting class. But in all candor here, this preseason ACC Rookie of the Year selection's been struggling. He has been struggling, Wes, and one of the reasons is he's got 21 field goals made on the year. 18 of them have been dunks. The other 3 are within 3 feet of the basket, so he has not shown yet an offensive ability other than to dunk the ball. Blake's trying to size up Kelly, a Houston freshman, and Jalen Blake's gets his first basket. See, and Duke is different now with Lively in the game and Grandison in the game. They're not looking to get the ball inside by throwing it into the low post. They're looking to get the ball inside by going off screen and rolls and driving. Kelly for Post. Now here is the freshman we spoke of a moment ago. Post, a nice pass. DeMar Langford on the drive. It got knocked around. Post couldn't control it. Blue Devils out of there with it. It's Not a bad idea to pass up the three, Wes. It might have been a bad idea to take it all the way to the basket, pull up and shoot the mid-range jump shot.
Lively. Here's Mitchell spotting up at the elbow. Long rebound for Pena. And BC wants to run if they can. Ashton Langford too strong. DeMar fouled. And free throws when we come back. 16-12. Duke a 4-point lead. BC will be at the free throw line when we continue on ACC Network.
I don't think it's a coincidence. Boston College, they started 1 for 10. They're 4 of their last 5. And that little streak is with Post in the game.
Earl Grant talking to Mark Schnurr. We got a terrific crew today. Roger Ayers, Pat Driscoll, Mark Schnurr. DeMar Langford's a 56% free throw shooter. See how, Dan, your note about the three-point field goal percentage. Look at where they are in twos and in free throws.
Well,
in terms
Wes,
of percentages.
That's the percentage of their points, not their shooting percentage. And you can see they only get about 20% of their points from beyond the three-point line. And that's among the last, the very bottom in the country. The free throw percentage, that's about in the mid-range. But the percentage of points you get from two, that's very high. So if you're Duke, you have to defend the lane aggressively.
Mason Madsen has checked in for the Eagles during the break. Whereas 45 for Earl Grant's squad. Here is Filipowski cutting to the basket and scoring. First field goal for the freshman from Westtown, New York.
That's just a really nice job. Make a pass. They go give and go. You cut into the lane. You said there's 2 7-footers playing out there now. It's hard to defend both of them.
5 assists now for the Blue Devils on 7 baskets. 4-point lead. Post with the right hand. Left it short and a whistle and a foul. And it's going to be on Filipowski. Both he and Lively were contesting Quentin Post, who's going to get a couple of free throws out of it.
Wes, early in the season, everybody's talking about Kai Filipowski and his ability to make twos. Here he just makes the pass. A nice little screen inside by Blakes, but he just cuts to the basket. You pass and you go to the goal. He is a very effective inside player, Wes, and Duke would like him to operate more down there and not just drift out beyond the arc.
Quentin Post played 24 minutes against Notre Dame, 16 against Syracuse. Earl Grant said, there might be a bit of a pitch count on Post, but let's see how it goes. Well, I'd say it's going pretty good right now.
Yeah, it is. He had a stress reaction in his foot, not a fracture. He had a stress reaction in his foot, and they sat him down so it wouldn't become a fracture. He missed those 13 games, and of course, he wasn't really able to do very much of anything. But he has gradually come back. He's played those 2 games. Earl Grant told us, he's sore.
Now Filipowski spinning on a leak bay. Skip to the corner. And Whitehead buries another 3.
Boy, you better find him. Wow. Now, he started out slowly this year, Wes, but his percentage is climbing steadily.
Well, he had the foot injury, of course. Going into Wednesday night, he was ascending a little bit, and now he is taking the roof off of ascending.
Boy, Post is working really hard inside. He was open a couple of times. They didn't throw him the ball. And Wes, I'm telling you, when you're a big guy, particularly when there's 2 7-footers on the other team, when you're open, you need to have the ball right now because those other 7-footers are battling to get in position against you. BC needs to do a better job looking for him inside and finding him when he's open.
Don't forget, we got 2 more following this one at Chestnut Hill. We'll send you to Louisville, and then we'll close the night at John Paul Jones Arena. Syracuse and Virginia, Wake and Louisville, all part of our ACC Network triple header today. Also available anytime on the ESPN app.
Syracuse going into that game 3-1 in the conference.
Yep. Here is Whitehead measuring Post. Tried to go backdoor on a cut. Thrown away by the Blue Devils. And here's BC trailing 5. Madsen. Ashton Langford, the hanging 2. And Whitehead grabs the rebound.
Boy, that's a tough shot.
Here is Blakes.
Maybe pull up for the jumper.
Quick pass, Filipowski. Shovel to Lively. Corner 3, Grandison. And Post clears the rebound.
I think Lively was surprised by that pass. He didn't catch it cleanly. Couldn't gather himself and passed it outside.
Yep. Malik Bay. Madsen launches and hits. Mason Madsen, 16th 3 of the year. His first points today, and the Eagles to within 2.
Well, Wes Madsen is a guy who came in here with the reputation as a three-point shooter. Has not shot it particularly well so far, but he is capable.
Grandison looking for some help. Filipowski trying to oblige. Switched by the Eagles and turned over by the freshman, but then the Eagles gave it right back. Shot clock did not reset. Filipowski for 3. And the rebound, Zachary knocked away by Whitehead, and it will belong to the Eagles. But Mason Madsen, and here's the thing, Boston College, Dan, we talked about their lack of threes. They only average 4.5 a game. They've already got 3, and here's the latest.
And Whitehead just plays off of him, Wes. And again, I think that that's okay, but you have to understand he is their most dangerous three-point shooter in terms of his history, so you can't play quite that far off. Whitehead is athletic enough defensively that he can get up to him and prevent that easy look without having Madsen drive by.
BC's made their last 3 threes here.
See Mitchell playing way off Langford out at the top.
Here is Post against Lively. Big challenge for the freshman. Post, a big kid. Can't finish with the right hand.
Lively handled that pretty well defensively.
Blake's got a screen. Couldn't find Lively on the roll.
When Lively screens, you got to be looking for him on that roll.
Yep.
Duke found him like 3 or 4 times in the first game against BC 5 weeks ago.
Now here's Whitehead with 8 to shoot, working on Madsen. 2-man game with Filipowski. He'll turn, force it up. Lively couldn't catch and finish. And here's Zachary and the Eagles, 3-on-3, and Jaden will go all the way and score.
Wes, when you take a tough shot, it allows the offense, or allows your opponent to get out in transition offense, and that's exactly what has happened.
Tied at 21. Zachary pressuring Blakes. And a hand check on Zachary. That'll be the second on Zachary. It's the 4th on the Eagles. We get a break in the action at Chestnut Hill, but Jaden Zachary, sophomore from Salem. Arduous maybe than they used to be, right? Jaden Zachary earned a Division I scholarship offer and then elected to go to junior college and went to a terrific one, Chipola in Florida. One of the best in the country. He got a lot of attention from D1 schools after 1 year, but it was Earl Grant and a Zoom call that convinced him to buy into what Grant was going to build here at BC. And it's been a win-win so far for both. It's also been a win-win for Derek Whitehead in the first, 12 and a half minutes of play.
And it makes a difference when Ryan Young is in the game. He causes the defense to collapse, and he can pass it out.
Whitehead's got 11. 3rd straight double-figure game on his 3rd 3. Post got back down too far on the baseline.
Well, that was a force that time. You got to recognize that a double team is coming and find the open man.
Here's Mitchell, and now Young with Post there. Young rolling on the big kid. Now back for Filipowski on the drive. Squeezes it up, tapped out by Young, and finally control Langford. 3-point lead for the Blue Devils. They're a 2-2 ACC teams.
Duke has been in a man-to-man the whole time.
Madsen on rebound. Post tried to make the save, but made it to Proctor. The freshman from Australia.
Nice job by BC to get back, and good decision by Proctor to pull it out.
Yep. Here is Filipowski. Tried to bounce it to Young. Kicked by Post. And we'll reset to 20.
Wes, we talked about Ryan Young down on the inside. Watch the pass to the guy in the low post. And Madsen drops down to try to help out, and just a little bit too far. It's not a bad thing to try to drop in and help, but you've got to be able to get back. And Whitehead already 11 points, 4 for 4. That's pretty good, don't you think?
Yep, absolutely. TJ Bickerstaff's come back in to replace Quentin Post. And we see Devin McLaughlin for the first time, and there goes Whitehead.
That's just really good movement.
Yep.
Without the ball. Duke doing a nice job moving players and moving the ball when they're playing well offensively.
Terrific first half for Derek Whitehead from a scoring perspective. He's got 13. And that ball got deflected away. Duke collapsed on the baseline. Here's Whitehead, all feeling it. Nope. First miss of the day off the back rim three.
I think he's entitled to that.
Absolutely. Here's McLaughlin, and wasn't looking on the bounce pass from Langford, and BC turns it over in transition. And Earl Grant here in season number 2, and Dan, I tell you what, he's done a terrific job here.
He really has, and I thought it was interesting, Wes, when we were talking to him. He said he really didn't look. He really wasn't thinking about how they had missed so many guys with injuries until the Christmas break. He said it was just a matter of, you know, a guy goes down, another guy comes up, and he said he didn't start thinking about the might-have-beens until his team went home for the holidays.
Here's Young trying to work inside. Nice pass out of a double team. Mitchell the dunk and the foul. Ryan Young's passing ability frees Mark Mitchell for a chance at the N1.
But Young's passing ability is helpful, but his ability to absorb contact, and there's a lot of contact here. Guys bouncing all over him, and again, they try to come and help out, do the Eagles, but you've got to get to Young. That was Pena. You got to get to Young while he's dribbling the ball. If he picks it up, he's going to find somebody.
8-0 run by the Blue Devils. It's a 29-21 count. 3-point trip for Mitchell. He's got 7 here in the first half. Ashton Langford. C.J. Pena. And now here comes McLaughlin for the screen. Langford driving into traffic. Ball away, and Young had a shot at it. McLaughlin recovers and scores. Devin McLaughlin, redshirted a year ago, gets his first basket.
Another offensive rebound for Boston College. When you get the ball in tight like that, Wes, you force help defenders to come. People are available for rebounding.
Here is Young spinning with the right hand, and his first miss in about 3 games.
McLaughlin did a great job to hold his ground.
Sure did. Here is Ashton Langford squeezing the trigger in traffic. He's got 9 on his 4th basket, Dan.
Well, Wes, he really does a nice job driving to his left and then shooting that ball with his right hand. That's a couple times we've seen him do that in traffic today.
4 in a row by the Eagles have cut the lead in half for Duke, and Young on the way, lost the handle. Last touch by Boston College, so it'll stay with the Blue Devils. But a moment ago, Mekhi Ashton Langford just weaves on through in this Gale Women's Hoops schedule for you tomorrow. 2 o'clock, Pitt and Louisville, presented by Food Line. The great Haley Van Lith and the Cards welcome Lance White's Panthers to town. And then Notre Dame and Carolina from Carmichael Arena. Helps us close the schedule. Nothing but net surrounds that. And a 3-ball from Proctor gets Duke going out of the timeout.
Proctor's another one of those guys, Wes. He's a capable 3-point shooter who hasn't shot it well so far this year. He just left him alone out there. That was pretty easy.
Yep, 7-point lead for the Blue Devils. Ashton Langford, a nice pass. Catch and score for Devin McLaughlin.
Boy, there was some heat on that one. McLaughlin, he was lucky to hang on to that ball. That's where Boston College is most effective, when they can score inside.
Proctor. Here's Mitchell. Now Whitehead, who's the Blue Devils' leading scorer with 13 here in the first half. Skip pass. Boy, what a catch by Blakes.
I thought there was no way he was catching that ball.
Here's Lively. 4 to shoot. Blake's got to do something here against Madsen. He fired for 3. Oh, he got it to Lively, who dunks it. I thought he was going to try desperation 3. He got it to Lively somehow, and the freshman dunks home his first basket.
That's 19th dunk of the year and 22 baskets. And we said that's something that Duke was able to do effectively in the first game.
Here's McLaughlin. Lead back to 7 for Duke. BC was able to 4 in a row to cut into after an 8-0 Duke run. But here a moment ago, this desperation from Blakes.
Well, it's desperation from Blakes, but not desperation from Lively. He catches the ball, takes his time, and dunks it home. He dunked that, West, with .1 left on the shot clock.
Mitchell, the foul, by the way, his first. 3rd on the Blue Devils. And now Whitehead, and we'll take a break. Filipowski has come back.
Whitehead has gone out of the game. He's got 13 points for the Blue Devils.
On down to the corner. There's Zachary, a little running hook shot. Huh? Back to the era of the Bonner. Huh? The running hook shot. Take you back, does it?
Well, Cliff Hagan would have been proud of that.
Striding through the lane, throwing it up the right hand. Huh? There's a catch by Lively inside and foul by McLaughlin at the iron. It'll be his second, 6th on Boston College. Let's go back, can we? And re-rack. Come on, take me through this now.
Well, Zachary gets the ball. And again, Boston College is trying to get into the lane, and he sees the 7-footer in front of him. And if he's going to shoot the ball, that's really his only option. I did that one time, Wes, when we were playing Clemson, and Tree Rollins sent the ball back to our bench. So it's not the easiest thing to do with a 7-foot guy. He got it over him.
Yeah.
And that's a really good shot blocker.
Wayne Tree Rollins was having none of your business. Lively's got 3 in a row for Duke and misses the back end of the free throw. 6-point lead for the Blue Devils.
Well, Boston College is hanging around, Wes.
Yeah. Feels like a pretty important 2 minutes.
Absolutely. A tremendously important 2 minutes.
Yep. Zachary tried to feed through to post. And Mark Schnurr is going to award this to Duke. Kelsey Riggs in our ACC Network studio. Luke Hancock, Joel Berry. They'll have highlights of Carolina, Notre Dame, their thoughts on this. Plus, you'll hear from Earl Grant and from John Schott here at Conte Forum. All before we start the second half. Duke by 6 and the ball. Proctor hit a 3 a moment ago. Here's Filipowski, a catch-and-shoot triple. And it fell off the back flange.
He's had a couple open ones he's missed, Wes.
Post a catch-and-shoot to try and answer. Cannot. Mitchell will run down the rebound. And now with 90 seconds to go, John Shires going to try and manage as much of this last possession or two for his club. Inside Mitchell squeezes up in traffic and scores. That is a 9-point first half for Mark Mitchell. Derek Whitehead's got 13. That's 22 of Duke's 37 from the wings.
Well, Zachary.
And here's Blake's a steal. He's got Proctor with him and knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Ashton Langford.
That is some play by Ashton Langford, Wes. I mean, Blake does a great job stepping in front of Zachary and
of your ACC experience and hashtag all the devotion. Capture, tag, and post. And look for it on ACC Network. Great to be with Dan Bonner, West Durham. We're Conte Forum, setting the table for you on a triple header today on ACC Network. Here is Filipowski off the inbounds, blocked by Post. Under a minute to go in the Eagles, trailing by 8. Alegbe.
That's a really good job to double team and make him kick it back out. Again, they've shot the 3 pretty well today, but this is not a good 3-point shooting team.
BC 3 of 8 from behind the line in the first half. Ashton Langford, a whirling dervish, kicks it to DeMar Langford. Fall away, good. Second field goal, 6 for DeMar Langford.
He's really good with that mid-range shot, particularly getting into the lane there with that little turnaround. And Wes, I think that was a huge basket for Boston College. Now let's see if they get a defensive stop before halftime.
Yep. Final possession of the half belongs to Duke. Proctor. And the Blue Devils going to go 1-4 here. Here is Proctor. Picked up on the dribble now. Blake's fall away. Off the rim. Filipowski with .2 left. And it's going to go to BC on possession on a ball that's caught in the rim.
Wes, you forced, if you're Duke, you forced the switch you wanted. You forced Post to come out. And
Mark Schnurr has been the government authority on the time. So DeMar Langford will have to throw it 94 feet at the basket. High arcing ball and Post the catch. Score it! Wow. They're going to check it. They're going to check it. But Quentin Post might have sent BC to the locker room on a 2-point basket.
Wes, I thought that ball might hit the ceiling. Yeah, and there's Ryan Young. He got these, you know, this is his first year at Duke, but he's a graduate student. He gets everybody together, talking to him, coming out of that huddle.
Mitchell, Proctor, Young, Filipowski, and Derek Whitehead, the game's leading scorer, starts second half for Duke.
I thought Proctor did a pretty nice job in the first half. He didn't score a lot, but he didn't have any turnovers.
Filipowski had it blocked by Zachary out of bounds. It'll stay with Duke.
Now, Wes, I'm going to tell you something. Jaden Zachary at 6'2" is going to be talking about this forever.
Yep.
You know, you go block a 7-foot guy shot. Little guys just never let you forget that.
Here's Young off the inbounds. 15 on the shot clock. BC is playing like Earl Grant envisioned them to do. Tough. Very tough in the first 20. There's Whitehead, and he opens with a 3.
You know, it's hard to get closer to him because he can go by you, but you've got to put a little more pressure on him than that. And another big shot.
Sure is. Derek Whitehead opens it up. He's got 16 now. And the Blue Devil lead is gone back to 7. Langford, Aligbe. And thrown away. Young with the turnover. Here is Mitchell leading the break. The crossover, tried to get to the rack, draws the foul. Whitehead has tied his season high, by the way, with 16. He had 16 last Saturday in the win against Florida State.
Well, he goes off the screen and he gets a mismatch. Bickerstaff, a bigger guy, has to go to him, and Bickerstaff, as a big guy, is a little afraid. He doesn't want to get beat off the dribble. And Whitehead makes him pay.
Mitchell will shoot 2. First one good. He's got double figures.
This is a really good start to the second half for Duke. Boston College made 6 of their last 7 shots going into the locker room at halftime.
Including that 94-foot Hail Mary and conversion, if you will. 11 for Mark Mitchell.
You don't want to let Duke get away. Of course, BC has fallen behind in games, Wes, and rallied to win.
Including Notre Dame on Wednesday. Or Tuesday, rather.
Just don't think you want to make a habit of it.
Ashton Langford left open. 3 ball bounces away.
I think you have to try inside before you shoot the 3 if you're Boston College.
Filipowski on the wing, and here's Young with the catch. He'll turn with Bickerstaff. Skip out. Proctor eyes a 3. Filipowski, the rebound and dunk. Second field goal. 6 points now for the freshman Kyle Filipowski. His first points since about 11 and a half minutes to go in the first half.
Wes, the defense gets all convoluted because Ryan Young is inside with the ball, and that quick kick out and the quick shot creates an offensive rebounding opportunity.
7-0 run to start the half by the Blue Devils. Here's Ashton Langford weaving through. DeMar Langford, 3 is good. Great answer by the Eagles.
Boy, they needed that.
Yep. First 3 of the day. 9 for DeMar Langford Jr.
That's DeMar Langford Jr., Wes, now on the season. He's 2 for 12 from out beyond the arc.
And Whitehead a turnover. Trying to find Mitchell.
Filipowski has been rather quiet today, but this is just a situation. He does a nice job getting position inside and going to the basketball.
That's Duke's first turnover, Dan. About 12 minutes of gameplay. Nice stretch for John Shire's club. Here's Post. Couple of dribbles, hesitates with Young defending. Good matchup here. Post will turn, skip out. Baseline. Bickerstaff had it rattled out. Now Whitehead. Proctor will fire away and hit. Tyrese Proctor, both of his field goals are triples. He's got 6. The lead is 11. Biggest of the afternoon for the Blue Devils.
Wes Proctor was 2 for 11 from 3 in ACC play coming into the game.
DeMar Langford tries another 3.
I know he just made his last one, but now he's 2 for 13 on the year, and so maybe he should stick that one in his back pocket for a while.
You're saying the heat checks need to be limited
yes,
with Earl
absolutely.
Grant's team?
Well, Earl Grant, he said to us going off the court at halftime that his guys need to give the Duke defense an opportunity to break down. And when you shoot a 3 that quickly, that doesn't happen.
That's an offensive foul. Yep. Dan, I think this call has been kind of investigated and dictated through, but this is the drop of the left shoulder, right?
Right. You just can't pound into a guy with your shoulder like that. We've seen, we saw DJ Burns from NC State. He doesn't use his shoulder. He uses his entire body to back you down and spin, and you can get away with that. But right in front of the official, dropping that shoulder, driving it into your opponent's chest, that's going to get called every time.
Here is Post now with Young defending. Double team help. Now they'll find the open guy. That's Langford. 11 now for DeMar Langford.
When they can get it into the lane, Wes, they can cause Duke's defense to have to react, and you're going to get opportunities like that.
Young setting the high screen for Proctor. Nice pass. Filipowski, tough catch and a foul. How about this ball handling? Tyrese Proctor playing for the injured Jeremy Rhodes, getting a lot of minutes. What's an awfully good look here. Out front for the third.
Be him.
Well, the Blue Devils, who took a tough loss in Raleigh on Wednesday night, 5-0, following 20-point regular season losses in the last 25 years. Kyle Filipowski at the line to try and complete the three-point play, and does. So he's got 5.5, 9 in the ball game. And Duke's got their largest lead now, 12 points.
You just sense that Duke is gaining control of this game. Boston College needs some sort of a response.
Yep.
There's the double team against Post, trying to force him into a three-point shot opportunity.
Bickerstaff muscling in, and Mitchell blocked it. They battle for it. TJ Bickerstaff with 5 to shoot. They skip it for Zachary. Shot clock winding down, and a front rim miss by Boston College.
That was some defensive sequence right there.
Yeah.
But you see how Duke, when Post gets the ball inside, they're coming to double.
Proctor on a cut off the screen. Here is Whitehead. Nice pass. Young the catch. Right back out front. Whitehead another 3. Front rim miss. Langford the rebound for the Eagles.
Young is amazing in his ability to find open guys.
Bickerstaff. Here's Post. Another big 3 from front. Spins out. Halfway down, and it rimmed out for Quentin Post.
They got Boston College, their strength is their defense. They got to dig in here.
Ball got knocked loose. Bounced right to Filipowski for the layup.
But the big guy had to go down and get it, Wes. Those are really good hands by Filipowski right there.
Yep. 14-point lead for Duke. 52-38. Blue Devils on a bit of a tear. They're 5 of 8 from the floor here in the second half. BC just 2 of 9, make it 3 of 10 as Post catches and scores.
That's really the first defensive breakdown we've seen for Duke in a while. They've been outstanding.
Yep. And Ashton Langford almost knocked it away from Proctor. It'll stay with the Blue Devils.
So Post that last time, he got the ball quickly and was able to score. But here as he sets things up, he dribbles the ball a couple times. Mitchell gets over and double teams him. And then Mitchell, he plays so well, he goes straight up in the air. He double teamed. He went back, found his guy, and blocked the shot. That's really good defense.
Ryan Young goes out. Derek Lively reports back for Duke. First time we've seen the Philadelphia freshman in the second half. Proctor misses on a 3 there. And the rebound for DeMar Langford. Here's the drive and one for Mekhi Ashton Langford. What a tough take through traffic. 5th field goal, now double figures on Mekhi Ashton Langford.
Wes, it's a tough take through traffic, but this guy has shown he can make these. Interestingly about this one, he uses his body to fend off the defender. We've seen him make this move and shoot the ball with his right hand, but he bounces off the shot blocker Lively and somehow gets it up there with his left hand.
How about that? 80% free throw shooter. Looking for his 12th point and has it.
Not only was that a heck of a play, Wes, that was a play that they really needed.
Jalen Blakes has come on the floor for Duke, the sophomore from Somerset, New Jersey. He spells Proctor during the timeout.
Blake's trying to get everybody set.
BC showing a little bit of a zone here. What, 1-3-1,
Yep.
Dan?
That's what it looks like, Wes.
Toner over. Here's Zachary with a Duke giveaway. And Jaden Zachary can't finish. They slap it around. DeMar Langford to follow. Lively finally pulls it away. And a hell ball will give it to BC on alternating possession. Earl Grant wants to know about the foul. Boston College's second-year coach not happy.
Well, this is a poor pass by Lively, but Blakes does a nice job getting back on defense, and Lively recovers as well. Bothers that shot, but can't claim the rebound.
Yep. So instead, the Eagles get the ball on the alternating possession on the held ball. Here is Post against Lively, and a bump and a foul on Derek Lively will be his first. It'll be the third of the half on Duke.
Well, in Lively's defense, you don't expect Quentin Post to put it down and drive it, and he just sticks his arms in there.
Jacob Grandison has come back in. Don't forget tonight, 7 Eastern, after our coverage is done with the triple header, the Nothing But Net crew breaks down the day in the ACC. Highlights and analysis of all 6 ball games. They'll also look ahead at the best games of the schedule in the coming week. Kelsey Riggs hosts with a full cadre of guys. 3-ball post is good. A dozen for Quentin Post.
Wes, he's got a really good-looking stroke.
Season high for the 7-footer from Amsterdam. 8-0 run by BC's. Drawn them back to within 6.
And again, the zone, Wes. Just trying to make Duke slow down a little bit.
Grandison. Here's Mitchell. Couldn't get by Zachary. 3 on the shot clock. Grandison on the drive. Lost it over the inline out of bounds.
Grandison trying to drive into the zone. And Wes, one of the reasons people play zone is to prevent penetration. So sometimes it's hard driving through. But when you draw the defense against the man-to-man, you can find an open shooter.
Duke's got 8 turnovers, 4 in the first half, and 4 already in almost the first 8 minutes. Ashton Langford couldn't finish.
I think he was expecting a lot more contact than he got. Wes.
Yep. I'm with you there, Parks. Here's Blakes now. Jalen is a steady hand at the wheel of the offense, and there's Mitchell, and it's an offensive foul. So Martin Mitchell tagged with his second foul, the 4th on Duke. Boston College has brought some momentum back into the Conte Forum.
You talk about a guard tandem that just put a lot of points on the board.
Wow.
They were something.
Kai Bowman, Jerome Robinson, high volume, high reward, right? Huh?
No lack of confidence there.
Yeah. Langford. Here is Post. Hard dribble against Filipowski, and Quentin Post gets the runner to go. He's got 14 in the ball game now. He's got a season high. Remember, it's just his 3rd game. And BC's to within 4 of Duke.
Wes, that was really some move because I thought Filipowski was in pretty good defensive position.
10-0 run by the Eagles. Young back on the floor for Coach Shire. That got knocked away. Madsen and McLaughlin reaching in.
Post has hit a couple of threes, so when he gives the fake, he gets Filipowski to stand up. And that second when Filipowski's standing up is when Post just gets a little bit of room on the dribble. And they're telling Earl Grant and the Boston College bench to sit down.
And there's a foul, and that'll be on McLaughlin. It'll be his 3rd. And it's number 3 on the Eagles here in the second half. Duke plays with 4 team fouls. Proctor.
Filipowski's a tough matchup for McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Particularly if Filipowski's going to go inside.
Here's Young, reverses back, up and under, and a good basket. Just the 2nd field goal for Ryan Young, though, Dan. When Duke needs a basket, who do you go to, right?
Well, that's only his 3rd field goal attempt, I think, Wes.
6-point lead again for the Blue Devils. Zachary took the contact from Blakes. Bangs in the little jump shot. He's got a half dozen.
But Boston College did a nice job spreading out the Duke defense, creating an entire opening, a big opening in the lane.
And Zachary's played that kind of tough game he showed us bits of a year ago. Earl Grant's premier season.
And BC back to the man-to-man.
Yep. Here's Proctor. Young with a hard screen. Proctor, soft jumper. Rolled off to Post.
It's good defensive help by Madsen.
Here is Ashton Langford. Thought about pushing it all the way to the basket. Oh, no. Post clutching it about 25 feet.
Yeah, that would have been a long-range jump shot. Again, you have to move the ball.
Zachary into McLaughlin. Scores. They'll score the basket. Would have been awarded anyway. Basket interference on the Blue Devils. Third field goal for Devin McLaughlin, the redshirt freshman.
Nice job by Madsen to come over. Bothers that shot. A one-handed rebound by Post. That gets everything started. This is a really nice pass on the inside.
And when Filipowski grabbed the rim, Dan, ball was already in the cylinder. Pull up at 15 feet. Missed jump shot. Filipowski gets his own rebound. Fresh 20 for Duke. The lead is only 2 for the Blue Devils.
See, and Duke, I think, needs to take out of the page out of the Boston College book. Move the ball in and out from side to side.
Filipowski from in front. Can't finish. Rebound from Madsen. BC can tie or lead here.
Wes, that shot by Filipowski was close, but it wasn't easy.
14-2 run for the Eagles, and an offensive foul on McLaughlin.
Lower that shoulder, Wes.
4 on Devin McLaughlin with
not
9:24 to go.
That's not a hard call. Gets the ball to...
So here comes T.J. Bickerstaff for Devin McLaughlin. And backcourt pressure. I thought for a moment Bickerstaff was going to come help Ashton Langford, and Zachary did not. So Proctor will bring it front court, right?
They get a trap over there. He'll be part of it.
Here's Young. Lobbing for Whitehead. He couldn't control it. Blake's got the deflection.
Look at that pressure, though, Wes.
Yep. BC's been terrific on defense.
Well, they're a very physical defensive team.
Here's Young driving post with a right hand. And the rebound of the miss. And here's Madsen with Whitehead. Back for Zachary, and we're tied. Duke wants a timeout. It's a 16-2 run by the home team.
Chance of the night. Boston College has tied the game. It starts with defense. But watch this outlet pass. That is a great outlet pass. A little fancy thing at the end by Madsen. But Mekhi Ashton Langford saw his teammate sprinting down the court, and that outlet pass is what made the play.
Now at 54, here's Whitehead challenging Post, and Quentin Post going to be called for the block. It'll be his first. Shot went awry on the 15th foul. And Earl Grant wants to know what for.
Well, you got to get yourself in position. You have to be in position before your opponent leaves the floor, and I think that was the call. Post was close, but he didn't establish his defensive position in time.
Season high 17 now for Dariq Whitehead. First free throw attempt of the. He's got an older brother, Tahir, who was a terrific, I mean not good, terrific linebacker in the NFL. And when I heard that, not long after Dariq committed to Duke, now that I've seen the younger brother play, the younger brother's got a little bit of Tahir's linebacking characteristics in him.
He's got some juice, that's for sure,
yeah.
Wes.
He's got a season-high 18 today. And the Blue Devils go to zone here,
Blue Devils in the 2-3 zone. Well, Boston College has been doing a great job getting the ball inside. And you go to the zone to prevent that dribble penetration.
Ashton Langford. Back to the younger brother, DeMar. And here's Post on the roll. Couldn't finish. Knocked away. Last touched. It'll stay with the Eagles.
Boy, that was a fabulous move by Post. He did everything to put it in the basket.
Quentin Post's health is, he must be feeling a little more toward 100%, because I don't sense there's a pitch count here in the second half.
Well, I think as close as this game isn't as well as he played.
Yep.
There may be a pitch count, but I think on the BC bench they might have forgotten.
21 minutes, which is a season high for him. Or he did have 24 the other day, I should say. Here's Post. Skip to the corner. Ashton Langford with 6 to shoot. Pull up. And the rebound for Bickerstaff. Now Post blocked by Filipowski. Recovered Young. Whitehead, but no numbers.
Good reaction by Filipowski. Boston College had a couple of good chances.
Yep.
They've never led in this game, Wes.
Here is Whitehead. Nice catch by Young. Tried to go up and under. Is going to draw a foul. It's going to get us to a timeout. We're going to get free throws when we come back. Ashton Langford picks up his second. Cards have beaten Wake Forest 5 of the last 6 times. And then after that, off to JPJ. Virginia has won 7 of the last 8 against Syracuse. And Jay Alter, Malcolm Huckabee close our triple header today on ACC Network and always available on the ESPN app. Ryan Young is 2 for 2 at the line today.
He's got 6 rebounds, Wes. He had 5 assists in the first half.
Yep. And knocks down the free throw. He is as gifted a big passing ball the ACC has, Dan.
Now Duke with some pressure.
Yep. 4-point lead for the Blue Devils. Been as big as 14.
And so BC, they got to dig back in again, Wes. They cut into that 14-point lead. Sometimes you expend so much energy making that comeback, you don't have enough to get over the top. So they just got to start again. Plenty of time.
Here's Bickerstaff. Skip for Zachary. Alikbe a 3. Rebound by Young. He'll wait on Proctor to circle around, and then here's Mitchell.
I think if you're Duke, you take that. Alikbe 3 for 13 from out there coming in today.
On the drive, Whitehead working on Zachary. Offensive foul.
That's tremendous defense. Zachary moved his feet, made Whitehead stop, and then Whitehead gets called for the foul with that push-off.
Second on Derek Whitehead.
Just gets in front, and now Whitehead turns, drops the shoulder. The arm comes out. Wes, that's a call you see every single time.
A lot's been written about that block charge call, Dan. You know they've kind of refined the rules. Makes it pretty clear-cut to me now. Here's Duke in the zone again.
Particularly that displacement foul like that, yep. Wes. It is very clear.
Inside, blocked was Bickerstaff and recovered by the Blue Devils. 2 terrific possessions of rim defense by the Blue Devils.
Well, they've got big guys in there, and that time, I think that was Mitchell that got that one.
Yeah. So here's Proctor. Trying to get it to Young. Bickerstaff hedged and takes it away.
Well, Young was open. They didn't throw him the ball. They waited too long, and then he was covered up.
Alikbe passed on the 3 that time. Coming up on 6 minutes to play in a 4-point Duke lead.
Even against the zone, you got to get the ball inside.
Ashton Langford, a deep 3 and knocked out of bounds by Bickerstaff. So Duke's kind of tightened it up on defense here, Dan.
Well, this time the ball does go inside, but there's 3 guys around the ball. That is a really tough shot. You take that one because you're looking for a foul. Boston College made their last 4 shots before we went to that break. Now they've missed their last 6.
Duke's in a field goal drought that's better than 5 minutes, but still have a 4-point lead. Here's Whitehead, a 3. Long rebound. Filipowski collects. Proctor will give Duke another chance.
Filipowski has got a mismatch inside.
Yep. Ashton Langford guarding him. They go to Young. Here's Filipowski. 4 to shoot. Back toward the baseline. Tried to find Young. And Duke turned it over.
Wes, that all starts because your point guard can't get the ball into your 7-footer against a mismatch. And by the time Young is able to get it down there, half, Wes, yep. They turned the ball over 3 times in the first couple minutes of the game and then ended the half with only 1 more turnover.
5:19 to go. Ashton Langford, DeMar Langford, Zachary Post, and Alikbe on the floor for Earl Grant.
You've got to get it inside.
Here is DeMar Langford. Skip for Zachary. He'll loop back. 4 to shoot. Alikbe forced it up. He'll draw the foul on Young.
Wes, that's great offensive patience by Boston College, because what Duke is doing, a lot of times when you're playing against the zone, you get the ball inside to force the defense to collapse, and then you can shoot a 3. Well, Duke's not worried about Boston College 3-point shooting. So the defense comes, Alikbe gets it. He knows the shot clock is running down. He's got to make a play. big, strong kid. That was a nice job.
So this young man from Minneapolis who played at Minnehaha Academy with Chet Holmgren and Jalen Suggs goes to the line. And the first one is good. First points of the day for Prince Aligbe.
And you saw there, Wes, he's been playing pretty well coming into this game.
Yep.
He's only a 56% free throw shooter on the year.
He's had 2 straight double-figure games, averaging 13.5 points and 6.5 rebounds. But his impact on this game may be in the last 4:57. And the second of the 2 bounces away.
Boy, he takes a long time. It's
Sure
the
does.
free throw line.
10-second count's going to be a real deal with Aligbe, isn't it? Here is Proctor now. Zone by BC.
Yep, back into the zone, Wes.
That 1-3-1 has been good to Earl Grant's club. Whitehead will fire over it and miss. And the rebound for Post.
And Wes, the theory is the same. You got to get the ball inside against that zone, force it to react. That was a long shot without ever testing that zone.
Ashton Langford, Zachary rimmed out on a tie.
Again, Wes, Boston College, one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the country. So if you're Duke, I think you're okay with them taking those long threes.
Yep. Mitchell trying to drive it on Langford. All the way in, draws the foul. DeMar Langford's second. It'll be the 7th on Boston College with 3:58 to play. 3-point lead for Duke in free throws when we come back. Foot re-aggravating that toe injury that's kind of been bothering him the last month, it feels like.
Finally, John Shire told us before the game he'll be week to week, and here you can see that neither team has any fouls to give. The possession arrow's in favor of Duke. Duke's got 2 timeouts. BC has 3.
Mitchell missed the first one. Freshman from Kansas City. And the back end good.
West Duke is now 13 for 15 from the line. Boston College is perfect, but they've only been there 5 times.
Yep. Duke comes in at 76% in ACC play. Boston College only took 9 attempts 5 weeks ago when they played. Here is Post. Double team quickly. Squeezes through. Rebound Aligbe. And finally Filipowski cleaned it up. Here's Proctor, and a little open floor for the Blue Devils. But
Your BC, you'd like to see Post make that shot, but he was under heavy defensive pressure on the inside.
Mitchell. Filipowski working on Aligbe. Wants the basketball. They get it to the freshman. And cannot finish. They gather and finally knocked out of there. Here's DeMar Langford on the drive. Aligbe thought about it. Ooh, Zachary flagged that down. It was going to be in Jim Molinari's lap on the BC bench. Aligbe at the foul line, cleanly through. First basket for Prince Aligbe. He's got 3 points. It's a 2-point Duke lead. Under 3 to go.
Wesson, ball movement created an opening in the middle.
Sure did.
Man-to-man for Boston College.
Mitchell, 9 to shoot. Going to take Langford on the drive through traffic. Young the rebound. Skip for Whitehead. Here's Proctor out front. He'll attack on the dribble. Can't finish. Second chance. No. They battle inside. And a foul on the deck against BC with the Mitchell rebound. And it's going to be on DeMar Langford. It'll be his 3rd. It's the 8th on Boston College.
Wes, the defense by BC pretty good, but you got to get the ball. Nice job by Ryan Young. When Post went to try to block the shot, Young went to find an open area, and the ball just happened to come right to him, and then Duke just stays with it.
Free throw by Mitchell's good. The Blue Devils are having to do this and get through a drought that is almost 9 minutes long without a field goal.
Well, they've been getting the ball down into the lane, West. They've been getting close and drawing fouls. If you make 2 free throws, it counts the same as a basket. At least that's the way it used to be.
Yeah. 3 in a row now for Mitchell. The lead is 4. Just ahead of 2 minutes to go. 35% of the games in ACC play so far this year have been 5 or less. We've had 1 overtime game in conference play. Foul line, Zachary. With the right hand, scores. Tough shot.
How did he get that in the basket?
And a timeout taken. 30-second timeout for Earl Grant. Zachary's got 10.
To get by, but still, he gets to the basket. He's got to go past Young and through Filipowski, and somehow he's able to get it to go in the basket. That is an incredible play.
Duke holding to a lead despite not having a field goal in the last 9:08. It's been since 11:08 that they've been able to score from the floor. They've missed their last 10 shots. BC's just 2 of their last 10. Talk about grinding. That's where we're going. Filipowski got the roll, snaps the drought, and Duke pushes it back to a 4-point lead.
Very aggressive play by Filipowski. He's missed a couple of those, Wes, but undeterred.
90 seconds to go at Chestnut Hill. Foul line, Zachary. A leak bay. How about it? To within 1 are the Eagles. Whitehead. Been dynamite. Can't finish. Tapped around. Control the leak bay. Taken away, Filipowski. He's got Whitehead. He missed the dunk. Whitehead goes down. Ball went out of bounds. And Derek Whitehead, is he okay? And I think they want.
They do decide that it's Duke ball.
It's going to stay with the Blue Devils.
You need to stop here, obviously, Wes.
John Shire. Here's Filipowski. Lost the handle on it. Got it back. Tried to roll it. And a timeout taken by Shire. The minute Filipowski lost it, the first-year head coach of the Blue Devils punched that timeout as Filipowski went down just right of the lane on the dribble.
That's a tremendous ball. These games, even though it's in January, they're all important.
And you ask any coach in America, they all count in March, too.
Yep.
Spot throw in on the baseline. It'll be Proctor, the freshman, to put it in play. Does so. Mitchell, did he touch it? No. Mark Snurr said it was touched by Boston College.
Of course, we're going to review it.
Yep. That was DeMar Langford, I believe.
Ball in bounds. They've obviously ruled that Mitchell touched the ball because if Mitchell never touches the ball, they take it out of bounds underneath.
Here is Zachary now. On the drive, block Mitchell. What a play by Mitchell. And last touch by Duke.
And we're going to go look again.
And Mitchell blocked it off the glass on the Zachary drop. Every 10th of a second counts.
And so they've taken off. Well, no, they've added 37.3 instead of 36.8.
So half a second. Filipowski to put it in play. Proctor in the corner, lost it. Last touch by Proctor. Now belongs to BC. 35.6 left.
What a play by Zachary.
And Quentin Post a turnaround off the baseline. So
that was the end of the first half.
Just keep all that in your pocket here as we go down the final 35-6. 1-point lead for Duke. Dan's already giving you the differential. Here's Post to work on Young. Finally turns and scores. Quentin Post, 16 points. BC in front. Shot clock's off. John Shire has a timeout. Mitchell to Young. Against the leak bay. Tried to reverse it up. Knocked away. Recovered inside. And it hit the end line. Have we got a foul called? We do. And it's on a leak bay. With 12.4 to go.
To keep that ball.
Oh, there's the foul by leak bay. Filipowski with 12.4 to go. Free throw good.
Filipowski, an excellent free throw shooter, and Duke has been outstanding from the line today.
Tied at 64. John Shire got a timeout in his pocket if he wants it. Earl Grant has one as well.
If he misses, Wes, you hold for the last shot. If he makes, you got to go down and score quickly.
And Duke is going to call the timeout, I believe.
Now, Wes, Earl Grant, he went on a 16-2 run to tie the game.
Yep. So DeMar Langford's going to put it in play.
Well, you got to get it in play. First of all, Wes, he can run the baseline. And then you got to get it across half court.
And it's back to DeMar Langford. Here's 10. He'll break the timeline at 8. Here's Mackay out front with 6. Trying to drive. Foul on jumper. Offline. Post the rebound. Lost it over the end line with half a second to go. It'll belong to Duke with 0.5 left. Ryan Young and John Shire discussing.
They're
Ryan Young
discussing.
saying just throw it to the other end of the floor.
Throw it to the other end of the court.
Yep. So Mitchell going to wind up, throw. It's caught. Post at midcourt.
Oh!
And the ball game ends with Duke capturing a 65-64 win. They put it in the hands, Dan, of their leading scorer, Mackay